The audience is getting more. It's not the...
Can like make an announcement for his next lecture.
Yeah, that's what he's trying to do, but Iman, just make the announcement for him. Iman, seriously, the audience is getting bored, people are leaving.
Okay, yeah, go on. Okay, yes, if you have any questions now, please.
This is, by the way, his next talk, this isn't mine. No, this is just not mine, okay? Don't ask me questions about Islamic finance, I know nothing about it. Okay, any questions now? Or you want to make the announcement first?
No.
Then let me... Okay, any questions now?
Could I ask what you based your translation of heaven to mean universe?
Okay, yeah. You see what heavens basically mean in Arabic or in the context, and many people have actually written it. For example, Morris Bukhari, he has done a thorough research on the subject and he had written it. Heaven, basically what heavens mean in Arabic was anything in the time of Prophet, anything above you was called heaven, okay? All the celestial bodies with sun and with stars and everything was basically called heaven. So if you see what is this thing above you with sun and stars and everything, that is our universe. So it is actually universe. It's not like it is not, and many people have translated it as universe. But even when the people who translate it as heaven, they don't mean any paradise, they mean the thing you see above you, because they then go on to say in heavens there are stars and sun and moon and all the celestial bodies. So it's not that I'm specifically referring, I'm referring to some translations which some people have done. It's not that I'm translating heavens as universe, I'm translating word samawat which correctly fits the context of universe rather than heaven. So I'm not translating heaven as universe, I'm translating samawat as universe rather than heaven. And when people translate it as heaven, they still mean universe. It's just that they're sticking to an archive word which is good for people in literature, and I am a scientist, I feel very uncomfortable with these words. Yeah, go on. You wanted to ask a question in beginning. Oh yeah, I know some of the translations, and if you see the index marks, they are horrible. I agree with that.
It's very difficult to understand, but most of the verses that you quoted, I can find, and they were sort of the same as
Yeah.
you had. But the one about the earth and the
Oh yes, yeah, it wasn't there. If you check on internet, the word dahaha, which is usually translated as egg, it means egg. I mean, most of my Arab friends, I didn't ask about Quran because I was really trying to be objective in this. So I didn't say I'm trying to talk about Quran. I said, what does dahaha mean? Okay, what does dahaha mean in your language? Egg? Egg, it means egg. But what happens is that many of the commentators, they find it very inconceivable that the earth is an egg. And there is actually, if you see, old commentators, they have actually spent volumes of apologetic literature to say, well, even you shouldn't take egg literally, it doesn't really mean an egg, because they couldn't conceive of how earth could be as an egg. And then they say it has been made as an expanse, it has been expanded like an egg. So, and then in the translation they translate it as expanded, and that is perfectly what sometimes people do. This is the problem, that many a times, if you see, again, this is one of the very interesting points. You see, for me as a scientist, one of the nice things that should have come up is, if Prophet wrote a book, okay, he should have made more errors than the commentators which came afterwards, because there was influx of knowledge from Greece, from India, from China. But interestingly, Quran as a text, if you translate it literally, it has this thing, it has very least scientific errors. But if you look at the what the later commentators said, where there are fairy tales, I have found commentaries about things which do not even relate, talking about a bull with 40,000 horns having earth, and which is some local tradition they try to somehow fit in. And the verse, if I tell you the verse is noon, which is just a letter in Arabic, and by the pen. That's all. That's the verse. That's it. But the commentators have gone on to comment about a bull. I don't know where does this celestial bull in the verse come from. But that's a serious problem. And it doesn't. You see, in my analysis of Quran as a scientific text, I came to another conclusion. And that was a very important life-changing conclusion for me. When I saw Quran neutrally, I saw it was filled with scientific miracles, I should say. But many of the traditional Muslim understanding of these verses was scientifically totally inaccurate and untenable. But then when I could establish this thing about something which is well established like science, I could do the same thing about law, I could do the same thing about hundreds of things Muslims interpret in Quran. And for me this really was a very, very important thing, that I should rather take Quran and not the Muslim opinions very seriously.
Can I just add something about when you said that you couldn't find this word like an egg or whatever? There is one important issue that we have to keep in mind, that at the time when the Quran was built, at that time it was meant to be itself a miracle in terms of linguistics. So unless people who are in charge of translating, and I don't like this word translation with Quran, because we need interpretation, because of the cultural differences and the whole process of translation. You need to understand that it is in itself a linguistic issue, a big issue. One of the most important miracles that grows upon Allah to define the people who are just ignorant.
Can I come on there? Yeah, but I think I would probably differ here. Sometimes what I have seen, you don't need interpretation. The most literal translation is the correct one, and if you come on interpretation, you can interpret it in anything. The fact that if you are worried about the egg and to know that I am not playing any games here, you can do one thing. The word there is dahaha. Check it in an Arabic English dictionary. Check it in an Arabic English dictionary, or just Google Quran earth shaped like an egg, and they discuss this problem that some of the commentators make. Okay, someone over there wanted to ask me a question. Yeah, go ahead.
The main reason why, or principal reason why I believe in God, the main reason why people believe is because they believe in life after death. They like to think it's something after people death. But then it's like a known scientific fact that people decompose after they die.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful point you raised. You see, the way I look at life after death, if you think about life after death in physical sense, it doesn't make any sense, I agree with you. But the way I look at it, you see, I do not like of thinking humans as really different or special. Okay, humans are just like any other form of nature, any other animal. We just have self-consciousness, which is a bit higher, but that's it. Then what you see in most of the universe is a perfect coherent behavior. Okay, you see perfect coherence, but you see an apparent incoherence in only one thing, that humans have self-consciousness, and humans have a sense of good and bad, and humans have somehow this statement written in their mind that good things should happen to good people and bad things should happen to bad people, and sometimes when you look out there, it's not how it is. And so what is the basic reason? The reason is that we do think that there is life after death. Consciousness survives. But does consciousness survive in the physical body? Of course not. The life hereafter is something which we have no way of comprehending in this world. Okay? We believe what Islam basically, and this is not basically a scientific or an anti-scientific fact. It's a-scientific because it's not saying anything. You can't go to a laboratory and test it. But you can philosophically arrive at it in this sense, that if God, if the ultimate reality has made a coherent universe, and you see a gross incoherence in how things are dealt with, like good things shouldn't be happening to good people, and probably people who really do gross injustice, they should be somehow taken to account. You kind of can believe in hereafter. But when you're talking of hereafter, please don't think in physical senses. There's a hadith, there's a saying of Prophet which says nothing of hereafter resembles this world, only their names are similar. There is no way, the way consciousness survives after that, it would resemble this world. I mean, we have very limited understandings of this physical universe, which we know very perfectly. 3D, space, 1D, time, moving, and